now. And so the big question is, what other prerogatives do Jews have that in the church, or just in God's ordained plan, that us, the church of Gentiles, don't get to experience? And this is something I don't see anyone ever touch on, so I'm excited to discuss it. Let's look at what it was like during Paul and Peter's and the apostles' era after Christ had died and resurrected and ascended to heaven. We get a glimpse into what church life was like in these verses, and you'll see there's still a big distinction between Jews and Gentiles, even within the church age. In Acts 3, verse 1, this is, it opens up and it's talking about Paul and Peter, and it says, "Now Peter and Paul were going up to the temple at the hour of prayer, the 9th hour." And it's easy to gloss over that verse until you actually think about it and go, wait a minute, so these born again, believing Christians who are, they're Jewish, they were still going to the Jewish temple that denied Christ, those manning the Jewish temple, the Pharisees and Sadducees and the high priest, denied Christ, were not Christians, were fully Judaizers. Paul and Peter still went up to the temple to attend the liturgical hour of prayer at the 9th hour. So what do we make of that? And something I should qualify all this with is that during this time, Gentiles were not allowed to go into the temple in the Jewish quarters. So back during this time, before 70 AD, before the temple was destroyed, the temple courts, the outside courts, were separated for Jews and Gentiles. And this is how it was from the Old Testament on until 70 AD, that Gentiles, because of their ethnicity, were not allowed to go into the Jewish quarters. And I think it's really interesting that still under this, the new covenant of Christ, that we see two apostles still, Peter and John, going up to the temple to participate in Jewish liturgy in the Jewish temple that rejected Christ.